The new city is here in Albion Online, and there's a lot of things that you need to consider when thinking about coming to the city. In this video, what I wanted to do is put together some short tips to help you guys before you even think about coming to the city. I'm going to have 3 that I cover in this video, as well as I will have some extra stuff to talk about at the end, but I'm going to try to keep it as short as possible. So the first thing that you need to know before coming to the city is that you cannot go back to where you came from. So for example, if you come from, let's say, Martlock, and then you come into... Let's say that you come from Martlock and you're wearing like your tier 8 enchant 3, or you brought some expensive set. Let's say you have like 7.1 on one of the sets that are your most expensive items and something that you cherish. If you go through a mist in the non-lethal or lethal zone and come into the city, you cannot get back out because you're not able to use the travel planner to get out of the city with any type of luggage. So you have to be completely stripped down of all items to be able to teleport out of the city using the travel planner. So this is something to keep in mind. If you do not want to be fully operating out of the city or keeping any of your valuables here, you need to remember this when you are coming to the city, because if you bring any of your stuff, it'll be stuck in this location. The second thing that I want to talk about is transporting items to the city. The way you can do this, and the safest way you can do it, is through the yellow zones. You can transport items here through the solo and duo lethal mists, but if you want to do it safely, if you want to bring an ox and you want to load up tons of material and different things to get stuff to Brecilien, you can use the non-lethal portals, and when you pop into these portals, there is a chance for you to find Brecilien. If you haven't found it yet, I have another video on my channel covering how to find the new city. But if you do already have access to the city, you can pop in and out of those portals and the non-lethals, which is the yellow zones, and you can look for the Brecilien portal to get to this location. The third thing that I want to talk about that you should know before coming to Brecilien is the personal island. There is a second personal island that you can get here in Brecilien, as you have your one in the Royal Realm. Maybe you have it in Martlock, Fort Sterling, wherever you have it. You need 7 days of premium to purchase your first personal island. And once you have your first personal island, when you come to Brecilien, you can buy a second personal island. So now you can have 2 to operate from. The reason you would want to do this is you can set up farms, you can set up houses for laborers, you can set up pastures, you can do herbs, any types of like carrots, cabbage, pumpkins, whatever items that you want to do, like you do on your personal island back in the Royal Realms, you can do here in Brecilien. And I'm going to show you guys my personal island. So here we are on my personal island in Brecilien. This is where I have a house. I have a couple crafting stations as well as a butcher. This is because of some of the bonuses that are in the city, as well as I have the stags that I'm raising. I have some kennels and carrots in the back. But this island is a fully upgraded island. I don't have everything set up on every plot yet, but this is what the island looks like aside from the furniture that I put on here. But you can get a full-on second island. And when I look at the travel planner, I have ProfessorScythe's island and Fort Sterling. And let's look at it from the city, because you can see both of them stacked together for the 2 islands that I do own from this travel planner. We have ProfessorScythe's island in Fort Sterling and ProfessorScythe's island in Brecilien. So we do have our 2 different islands. So that is another thing to keep in mind before you come here. That is a reason why you would want to. If you do have a personal island already, you may want to have 2 so you can operate out of both of them. Now, those are the 3 tips that you need to know before coming to Brecilien. These are very important things to know about, that you can get here through the yellow zone, that you can't get out of here unless you go through a black zone. The only way to transport stuff out of the city is going through the unstable roads that I know of at this time. But other than that, the main question that I get is, why would you want to come to the city? And there's multiple reasons why you would want to come to the city. First off, it has its own personal market. So people are operating in and out of here, doing market activities. There is an expedition master here, so you can do expeditions. You can do arenas from here. There's a portal that connects to the mist, so you can do any non-lethal solos, lethal solos, and lethal duos with a partner straight from the city. You don't have to go and find wisps and activate them and go inside. You can do it straight from here. There's also unstable roads for all my Road of Avalon enthusiasts that love running the roads and doing gathering, as well as any type of group activities in there, like clearing the new chests that they've added. There's unstable roads here that you can pop out to random ones, as well as you can press the back button and come back to Brecilien, so that is still an option. There's a bank here, as well as you can get a second personal island. So there are a lot of cool features that this city does to help make the Roads of Avalon and the Mist more of a home for some people that do love running that content more than they love running Outlands and Royal Continent. I run all types of content, and I operate from the city, and I have no problem doing it, but I also love love running black zone content. So I have no problem transporting through black zones, being in lethal areas all the time, but that's just the way that I like to play the game. I know a lot of people that are solo or group players aren't a fan as much of the full loot PvP zones, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's multiple ways to play this game. It is a sandbox MMO RPG after all, so don't feel bad if you don't like doing that type of content. I'm just saying that for me, this city works. For some, you might benefit from getting maybe the second personal island, and that's all you want. So I would recommend only coming here through a yellow zone, setting up your island, setting up your laborers, setting up your farms, everything that you need, and then leave some stuff there so you can use your travel planner back on the royal continent to come to your second personal island. You do not have to be in the city to come to your second personal island. You can come from like Martlock, Thetford, you could do any of that stuff. But that's the reasons why you would actually want to come to the city and use this. But that's going to be the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this short video on the tips of things that you need to know before coming to the new city here in Albion Online. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see all of you in the next video, and I'll see all of you in Albion Online.